Before we start, make sure to like and subscribe for more educational English videos like this one. The ethics of artificial intelligence and human responsibility. In the contemporary era, few technological advancements have sparked as much debate, fascination, and apprehension as artificial intelligence. Once confined to the realm of science fiction, artificial intelligence has now become an integral part of everyday life, influencing decisions in areas ranging from healthcare and education to finance and governance. However, as its capabilities continue to expand at an unprecedented pace, a pressing question emerges: to what extent should humans entrust machines with decision-making power? At the heart of this debate lies the issue of ethics. Unlike traditional tools, which merely execute predefined instructions, modern AI systems are capable of learning from vast datasets, identifying patterns, and making predictions that can significantly impact human lives. While this may enhance efficiency and accuracy, it also raises concerns about accountability. When an algorithm makes a flawed or biased decision, determining who is responsible becomes a complex and often contentious matter. One particularly troubling aspect of artificial intelligence is its susceptibility to bias. Since AI systems are trained on data generated by humans, they inevitably reflect the biases and inequalities present in society. For example, if a hiring algorithm is trained on historical data that favors certain demographics, it may perpetuate discriminatory practices, even if unintentionally. This highlights the importance of not only improving the technical design of these systems, but also addressing the broader social issues that influence the data itself. Furthermore, the increasing reliance on AI has led to what some scholars describe as automation complacency. This phenomenon occurs when individuals place excessive trust in automated systems, assuming that they are inherently objective or infallible. As a result, people may become less vigilant, failing to question or critically evaluate the decisions made by machines. In high-stakes environments such as aviation or medicine, this over-reliance can have serious, even catastrophic consequences. Another dimension of this issue involves the potential erosion of human skills. As machines become more capable of performing complex tasks, there is a risk that humans may gradually lose the ability to carry out these tasks independently. For instance, the widespread use of navigation systems has arguably diminished people's sense of direction, while automated writing tools may impact critical thinking and creativity. Although such technologies offer undeniable convenience, they may also lead to a subtle but significant decline in human competence over time. Despite these challenges, it would be overly simplistic to view artificial intelligence as inherently detrimental. On the contrary, when used responsibly, AI has the potential to address some of the world's most pressing problems. In healthcare, for example, AI can assist in early disease detection, enabling more effective treatment and saving lives. In environmental science, it can analyze vast amounts of data to identify patterns related to climate change, helping policymakers make informed decisions. The key, therefore, lies in establishing a framework that ensures the ethical development and deployment of AI technologies. This includes implementing transparent algorithms, promoting diversity in data collection, and creating regulatory systems that hold developers accountable. Equally important is fostering public awareness and encouraging individuals to engage critically with these technologies, rather than accepting them unconditionally. Moreover, interdisciplinary collaboration is essential in this context. Ethical considerations cannot be addressed solely by engineers or programmers. They require input from philosophers, sociologists, policymakers, and the broader public. By integrating diverse perspectives, society can develop more comprehensive and inclusive approaches to managing the complexities of artificial intelligence. In addition, education plays a crucial role in preparing future generations for an increasingly AI-driven world. Beyond technical skills, individuals must cultivate critical thinking, adaptability, and ethical awareness. These qualities will enable them not only to use technology effectively, but also to question its implications and contribute to its responsible development. Ultimately, the rise of artificial intelligence presents both an opportunity and a challenge. It compels humanity to reconsider fundamental questions about autonomy, responsibility, and the nature of intelligence itself. While machines may become increasingly sophisticated, they remain tools created by humans, and their impact depends largely on how they are designed and utilized. In conclusion, The ethical dilemmas surrounding artificial intelligence cannot be resolved through technological innovation alone. They require a collective effort to balance progress with responsibility, ensuring that the benefits of AI are distributed equitably while minimizing potential harm. As society continues to navigate this rapidly evolving landscape, one thing remains clear: the future of artificial intelligence is not solely determined by algorithms, but by the values and choices of the people who create and use them.
The paradox of choice in an age of abundant scene, a quiet cafe tucked away on a narrow street in a bustling metropolitan city. A young woman named Elif sat staring at her laptop screen, her coffee long since gone cold. Around her, the ambient hum of conversations and the occasional clatter of cups created a comforting background noise. Yet, despite the seemingly relaxed atmosphere, Elif found herself unable to focus. She had opened her laptop with a clear intention to decide on her future career path. However, what initially seemed like a simple task had gradually evolved into an overwhelming and paralyzing dilemma. Elif's predicament is far from unique. In fact, it reflects a broader phenomenon that psychologists and sociologists have increasingly begun to examine: what is often referred to as the paradox of choice. At its core, this concept suggests that while having options is generally perceived as beneficial, an excessive number of choices can lead to anxiety, indecision, and even dissatisfaction. In earlier generations, individuals often had limited options when it came to careers, lifestyles, and personal decisions. These constraints, while restrictive in certain respects, provided a sense of clarity and direction. Today, however, globalization, technological advancement, and cultural shifts have dramatically expanded the range of possibilities available to individuals. While this expansion has undoubtedly created new opportunities, it has also introduced a level of complexity that can be difficult to navigate. As Elif scrolls through countless articles, career guides, and online forums, she encountered an overwhelming array of possibilities. Should she pursue a career in academia, dedicating years to research and intellectual inquiry, or should she enter the corporate world, where financial stability and structured progression seemed more attainable? Alternatively, she could consider freelancing, embracing flexibility at the cost of uncertainty. Each option appeared to offer its own unique advantages and drawbacks, making the decision increasingly difficult. One of the most challenging aspects of this situation is the fear of making the wrong choice. In a world where success stories are constantly showcased on social media, individuals are often exposed to idealized versions of other people's lives. This exposure can create unrealistic expectations and intensify the pressure to make perfect decisions. As a result, people may become trapped in a cycle of overthinking, constantly analyzing and comparing options without ever committing to a course of action. Moreover, the abundance of choice can lead to what psychologists describe as decision fatigue. This occurs when the mental energy required to make decisions becomes depleted, resulting in reduced self-control and poorer judgment. In Elif's case, after hours of research and deliberation, she found herself increasingly unable to evaluate her options rationally. Instead of gaining clarity, she felt more confused than when she had started. Interestingly, research suggests that individuals who have fewer choices often report higher levels of satisfaction with their decisions. This may be because limited options reduce the likelihood of regret. When there are only a few alternatives, people are less likely to wonder whether a different choice might have led to a better outcome. In contrast, when faced with numerous possibilities, individuals may continue to question their decisions long after they have been made. Another important factor to consider is the role of identity in decision-making. In modern society, choices are often seen as a reflection of one's personality, values, and aspirations. Consequently, making a decision is not merely about selecting an option, it is about defining who one is. This added layer of significance can make even relatively minor decisions feel disproportionately important. As the afternoon turned into evening, the cafe gradually began to empty. Elif closed her laptop and leaned back in her chair, letting out a quiet sigh. In that moment, she realized that her struggle was not simply about choosing a career, it was about confronting uncertainty and accepting the limitations of her knowledge. No amount of research could guarantee a perfect outcome. This realization marked a subtle but significant shift in her perspective. Instead of striving to make the best possible decision, she began to consider the idea of making a good enough choice, one that aligned with her current interests and values, even if it was not flawless. This concept, sometimes referred to as satisficing, contrasts with the tendency to maximize or seek the absolute best option. By adopting this mindset, individuals can reduce the pressure associated with decision-making and focus more on taking action. After all, decisions are rarely final. They can often be adjusted or reconsidered over time. In Elif's case, choosing one path did not necessarily mean abandoning all others forever. As she stepped out of the cafe and into the cool evening air, Elif felt a sense of calm that had eluded her earlier. The city lights flickered in the distance, and for the first time that day, she was not thinking about all the possibilities she might lose, but rather about the path she was about to begin. In a world characterized by abundance and endless options, learning to navigate the paradox of choice is an essential skill. It requires not only critical thinking and self-awareness, but also the courage to embrace uncertainty. Ultimately, the goal is not to eliminate choices, but to develop the ability to make decisions with confidence and resilience.
The illusion of productivity in the digital age. In recent years, there has been an increasing awareness of what many researchers and psychologists now refer to as performative productivity. This concept describes a behavioral pattern in which individuals engage in activities that appear productive on the surface, yet contribute very little to meaningful progress in the long term. While this phenomenon is not entirely new, the rise of digital tools and remote work environments has amplified its prevalence in ways that were previously unimaginable. At the core of performative productivity lies a subtle but powerful psychological mechanism: the desire to feel productive without necessarily being productive. For instance, responding to emails, organizing files, attending meetings, and updating task lists can all create a strong sense of accomplishment. However, these activities often serve as substitutes for deeper, cognitively demanding tasks such as strategic thinking, problem solving, or creative work. One of the primary reasons for this shift is the structure of modern work itself. Many organizations have adopted communication-heavy workflows that reward responsiveness rather than depth. Employees are often expected to reply quickly, stay constantly available, and demonstrate visible engagement. As a result, individuals may prioritize tasks that are easily measurable or immediately visible to others, even if those tasks are not aligned with their most important goals. Moreover, digital platforms are intentionally designed to reinforce this behavior. Notifications, messages, and alerts create a continuous loop of attention fragmentation. Each interruption, no matter how minor, carries a cognitive cost. Over time, this leads to what experts call attention residue, a state in which the mind remains partially occupied with previous tasks, reducing overall efficiency and mental clarity. Interestingly, this issue is not limited to the workplace. Students, freelancers, and even content creators experience similar patterns. For example, a student might spend hours highlighting texts, reorganizing notes, or watching educational videos without actively engaging in critical thinking or practice. Although these actions feel productive, they often lack the depth required for true learning. Another contributing factor is the cultural glorification of busyness. In many societies, being busy is associated with importance, ambition, and success. People frequently equate a full schedule with high productivity, even though research consistently shows that excessive busyness can lead to burnout, reduced creativity, and poor decision-making. To address this issue, Experts suggest a shift from activity-based productivity to outcome-based productivity. Instead of focusing on how much one does, individuals should evaluate what they actually achieve. This requires a deliberate effort to prioritize high-impact tasks, set clear goals, and create uninterrupted time for deep work. Additionally, developing metacognitive awareness, that is, the ability to reflect on one's own thinking patterns, can be particularly beneficial. By recognizing when they are engaging in low-value tasks, individuals can consciously redirect their attention toward more meaningful activities. In conclusion, while digital tools have undoubtedly increased efficiency in many aspects of life, they have also introduced new challenges related to focus and authenticity in productivity. Understanding the difference between being busy and being truly productive is not just a professional skill, but a crucial life skill in an increasingly complex and distraction-filled world.